Energized show, up the Irish.
Okay, what's going on, guys? Welcome to a brand new episode of Energized. Ross, introduce the guest, man.
Today, we have Ireland's answer to the Diaz bros. We have Ryan and Adam Shelley, straight out Team KF. Lads, how you getting on?
Good, lads. Thanks for having us on.
Thanks
Jeez,
for
it's
been
the
a
answer
long
in
time
unison
coming.
there. Answer in
What's
unison
that?
there.
Yeah, absolutely.
I
Always love
love
the
it.
intros.
love it, lads. I love it. Lads, you are fighting December 5th, Basman, was it? You give us the dates there.
Yeah, okay. Adam and Ryan Shelley are fighting on Cage Conflict 5, not against each other now. Live on Saturday, December 4th in the Devonish. We were discussing whether or not there's pay-per-view links. We're going to find out more after. But both lads are competing Saturday week, so you have to make sure to check it out. Lads, thanks a million for coming on the show. We had to get the Shelley bros on together. It just to be done, you know?
Hell yeah. Thanks a million for having us on.
Lads, first things first, I'll start with yourself, Adam. Welcome to the show. We've had Ryan on before, so big debut for yourself, Adam. Adam,
Absolutely, yeah. I can't believe it's taken this long, but look, it's here now.
Blame Ryan.
You had to pull the socks up. Ryan was slating you in the DMs. He was.
Fucking hell, I know, yeah.
Tell us this: how many times have you and Ryan fought in MMA on the same card?
Oh, 3 times now. This will be the 4th. Yeah, 3 times, and this will be the 4th.
And when you are fighting on the same card, are you more nervous for your own fight or for Ryan's fight?
Definitely Ryan's, 100%. And like, even it happened before when we were doing like tournament style stuff in the Taekwondo and kickboxing, we'd often be competing same day. And like, I like actually being first and then let Ryan follow. Now, if he goes first and if he wins, happy days. But sometimes if it doesn't go his way, which is very rare, I find then I really have to work hard to block that out. But yeah, look, it's always good crack when it goes our way. It's a great night, you know.
Yeah, I'd say it is.
And what about yourself, Ryan? Do you have a preference whether you go first or second, and which one do you get more nervous for?
Definitely, I'd be the same. I get much more nervous for Adams. I don't be that nervous for my own at all. And yeah, like ideally, I suppose I'd like to go out first as well, but I don't have too much of a preference. I think for this one coming up, I think Adam is going out first and I'm going next. So I try to just, not have a preference because, you're going to get both ways eventually. Sometimes I'll be on first, sometimes he'll be on first. So it's just about rolling with it. And like you said, like, it's one of them things when it goes well, it's brilliant. But when it doesn't go too well, it can be a bit shit. Let's say if we go 1-1 in the night, But again, it rarely happens. Like we've had success over the years. So yeah, hopefully next week now just be 2-0 and then back to Dublin.
And Ryan, will you be in each other's corner?
No. I imagine no. So like, let's say if Adam's first, he'll just come out and watch my fight second, and obviously I wouldn't go out for his. I'll be focused in the back doing my own thing. We'll leave that to the coaches, whether it'll be Chris and then the number 2, whoever it might be, sort of picks his number 2 with each event. So no, the answer is no. We'll just be spectating each other's events.
Does it get any easier over time, lads? Because obviously you've seen each other fight like other people so many times. So like, does it get any easier, or are you still sort of like shitting a brick at the back?
Like, do you mean for our own, Baz, or
no, for each other's? Are you like, oh, Jesus, hopefully he's all right?
I think it's always like, I think the nerves will always be a bit more there because, like, yourself, you can't control it. Like, they're in there. I've often heard coaches, Chris would often say the same thing. He gets more nervous for the lads on the team fighting than he did for himself because you sort of send them in there and you're nearly hoping that they remember everything and they perform to their best. Whereas when you're doing it yourself, you're in the driver's seat, like, it's totally on you. So I'm not really sure now if it'll get easier with time. I suppose we'll wait and see.
Yeah, Ross, I think this is actually the first time we've had brothers on as well on the show.
Is it?
The first for everything? I think it is.
Yeah, there is a first for everything. I'm sure it won't be the last time you have the Shelley bros on at the same time. They're a unique outfit in Ireland.
You have to get the other on as well. Like.
That's it. We'll get the whole family on next time.
Get them all on. It's nearly Christmas time.
Christmas at the at the Shelley household.
Yeah,
I love it.
We'll get
what's
the
called
DJs going, yeah.
Yeah, they kick the baubles onto the tree. They do. Adam, come here. Do you ever watch Ryan in the middle of a fight, and then if he takes a punch or a kick, sort of get the urge to want to get in there and give your man a bit of a hiding when you see him get in a fist fight?
Do you know what? It'd nearly be the opposite. It's when I see him take a shot or whatever that he shouldn't have got. I nearly want to get in and give him a smack because I know he shouldn't be getting hit with that stuff. Like for example, on the last fight with Liam Malloy, like he came out strong and right at the start, a little bit hairy, and I was nearly wanting to get in and shake him, but there was actually a specific turning point in that first round. I know Ryan better than he knows himself, and I knew he sort of, without trying to sound all like I told you so, I actually knew he had made a turning point in the fight, and he went and got the stoppage in the second round, thank God. But yeah, it would never be to hit the other guy, it's only more to hit him.
Ryan,
absolutely
actually,
epic.
it actually was. I was about to say,
We're
Ryan,
gonna
tell
be
us a bit
ultras,
about
aren't
that fight. Yeah, we were. I was actually sitting in Barry's house watching the fight, and like
way.
we specifically made a plan. I was like, right, I'm coming out for Ryan's fight, and we watched it together. Because you're a big deal, Ryan. You're a big deal.
Thanks a
And
million.
certain fights we make sure we watch together, and that one we're like,
Yeah.
right, we'll make sure we watch that one together. Came out and we're watching it, and like it was so back and forth, like you know, it was
Early on.
very back and forth on the feet, and then like the grappling exchanges were crazy.
Yeah.
What did it mean to you to actually get a submission win? Because obviously everyone knows Ryan Shelley and Adam Shelley for their stand-up, but was it nice to show that you're a much more well-rounded fighter than people probably give you credit for?
Yeah, definitely. And I think for people in the gym, it wasn't such a surprise because they had been sort of seeing me hit. I actually hit that move a few times in the weeks leading up to the fight, jumping people back and getting the choke. Again, it's not something that I intended to be good at. I was finding myself in that position constantly. And I think with the long gangly legs, I'm sort of pretty good at it, and it comes a bit natural to me. So then when we're in the fight, obviously, like you said, it was back and forth. It was a bit chaotic. I'd say I lost the first round, and then I was coming into it in the second round, and he was on my back. It turned into a mad scramble, and obviously I ended up on his back. And then when I had the choke in, and I was just squeezing for dear life. And, at one point I thought he was going to go unconscious, but I just seen him slip the hand out and he tapped. So now it was a great feeling, again, I think I put a good few people on notice, for anyone that's fighting me in the future, that's saying oh, he's just a pure striker. They'll look at that and they'll say maybe they have to watch out for a few things,
Yeah, especially because next generation's known for just taking necks. So
Yeah.
it was so exciting when you got to win. The champagne was going everywhere.
Yeah, no, it was cool.
Yeah, Dylan Logan was on to us all week saying you're going to win by rear naked choke, and he was right. So he must be one of the lads drilling with you, was he?
Yeah, he was. Yeah, me and Dylan did a lot of training. Since Dylan has come to Team KF, we've been doing a lot of training together. He's fit in so well with everyone. And obviously he's a great body for me. We're the exact same size. He's had a bunch of fights, so he's very experienced. So yeah, in the lead up to that fight, I did probably the majority of my training with Dylan. Yeah.
Can we just ask a bit more? What's the training like with the two of you lads? Do you still live together, or
we still live together. It's great, if we're ever doing bits and pieces at home, which most of our our training is done in the gym. But if we ever have stuff to do at home, it's handy having the two of us to sort of say, "Come on, get up off your arse and get it done." That type of thing.
Can you tell us exactly what that is that you say to each other at home? Because a lot of people, they go train, they come home, they sort of try to shut it off. But the two of you are there, and you're always constantly driving each other, and you're champions in Taekwondo as well. It's sort of like you want to be the best. So when you're at home, you're probably like, I'm putting a bit less butter on the toast than him, yada yada yada.
That's spot on what it is. It's like we're always trying to outdo each other. Do you know what I mean? So if I'm maybe in the house doing nothing, and he's putting his runners on, I'm like, where you going? He's going out on a run. It's like, fuck it, I'll join you. You know what I mean? So it's a little bit like that. It's a bit competitive, but it helps the both of us in the long run. So it's all good.
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
Where it helps a lot as well is with weight cuts. So for example, now what are we at today? Tuesday. We'll sort of be going into fight week now, Sunday, Monday, and we'll be cutting the weight down. So it's handy just that one person isn't, getting takeaways during the week or whatever. We're both sort of going to be on a good eating buzz, and then if he's making something and I'm a bit busy, it's like, here, throw me on a chicken fillet there, whatever, that type of stuff.
Love it.
Yeah.
No, absolutely. Adam, you're in a slightly different position to Ryan going into this one. You're 0-1, and you're also fighting a fella who's 3-0. Do you feel there's a lot of pressure on you going into this fight? Do you feel like your back's up against the wall a bit?
Do you know what, Ross? It's interesting now that you asked that, because when I compare myself to this stage before my last fight, I felt like I had a mountain of pressure on me for the last one. But this time around, and again, I'm not one of these, I wouldn't just say it. I'm not really feeling much pressure. I'm in a different mindset compared to what I was the last time. Had different stuff going on for the fight back in June. And really now, I thought, like, before I had this fight booked and when I knew I was going to be, obviously having to redeem that one, I was like, geez, there's going to be a lot of pressure on when I'm looking to get that back, because obviously the what if you sort of goes against you again. But to be honest, I really enjoyed the camp. Training's been going great, and I actually can't wait to get out there next week. And that's genuine. I really can't wait to get in and perform.
I think it does go to show how much of a competitor you are, that you're willing to get in with someone who's 3-0 when you did go 0-1 in your first pro fight. I think that's very, very impressive, and it just goes to show that, like, Adam Shelley's got a big pair of cojones on him, and he's not afraid of anyone. So look, there'll be no doubt in you going into this fight. We'll definitely be showing your support.
Cheers, lads. And then as well, like, I think that definitely comes from that's an ethos in the gym in KF. Like, you fight who's put in front of you, and that's that. And it's something that we've always had coming from a tournament style. I've rocked up to tournaments at times thinking that there was going to be nobody there, let's say in a national circuit, thinking there'll be nobody here today and I'll compete. And then 2 or 3 of the top lads in the country end up being there, and you're like, holy shit, thought I was coming in for an easy day today, and you're up against the top guys in the country. Or likewise, you could be going expecting a really tough matchup, and then none of the lads are there, maybe they're injured. So it's sort of that attitude of you arrive on the day, and whatever's in front of you, you deal with it,
No, absolutely.
Adam's obviously facing Daniele Scagliusi on Cage Conflict 5. What exactly do you know about Daniele?
I've actually only had a quick glance over his fights, to be honest. I normally leave the bulk of the sort of fight study to Chris. I've just noticed he sort of comes out hell for leather looking for takedowns, so I would imagine he'll come with a similar approach next week, which I should be very prepared for. So that's sort of it.
Yeah, I do think obviously, well, I'm going to guess he's Italian. Like their sort of martial arts level clearly isn't at the Irish martial arts level. So, I see he has like 14 amateur wins and 2 losses, but you don't know what level of opponent he was facing. Like Kenny Mokahana, who you find in your last fight, is one of the top level amateurs in the country, and then now obviously he's like a top prospect pro as well. So, like,
right.
I'd go on the limb now. Now it could be an ignorant thing to say, but I doubt he's faced the level of competition you face, Adam, to be fair.
Yeah, I'd agree with that, to be honest with you, Ross, as well. But then, as we always say, there can be guys coming out of a country that's a low standard and they're good. As you say, it can be blown up. I'm happy enough to find that out next Saturday, and we'll see what he's really made of.
Exactly. And Ryan, this is a bit of an interesting one for you, because obviously you fought on the big stage last time out. You fought on Cage Warriors. Were you disappointed not to be on Cage Warriors Double Trouble this time out?
Not really. Like, obviously, I'll take the fights wherever I can get. And Chris, I think the initial plan was to look for me on the next Cage Warriors, the double header coming up, as you say. But I think they were getting a lot of their guys that they hadn't got on the last trilogy onto that one. So I sort of, because I've only had one fight with Cage Warriors, it sort of wasn't really a priority, which is fair enough. So I think the plan there is, like, hopefully everything goes well next week, and the Cage Warriors want to have me on again next year, whether it be March or something like that. So get this one out of the way, and then probably in the new year you'll see me back with Cage Warriors, be it February, March, or April.
Well, the Energized show, who are constantly in the DMs with Cage Warriors back and forth, are pushing for a Cage Warriors February up in Belfast. How does that sound?
Brilliant. Lads, I'm there. You know the story.
You know what? I think Cage Warriors love a pair of brothers. We had one of the Fig Lack bros on the last show. We'll probably get one of the Hardwick bros on in the coming weeks. And they could also have the Shelley bros. You know what I mean?
Absolutely, yeah.
Next
Do you know what? I was only saying this to Ryan there recently. It'd be deadly if a set of brothers matched up weight wise. I know the Fig Lacks and the Hardwicks don't match up. They have a feather and a light and a light and a welter. And then we have a feather and a light. Now, obviously, the Hardwicks are further on in their career than us, but who knows, maybe in the UFC down the line, if the two boys made it, and if we made it, a double brother show or something like that would be cool.
Well, you said it here now. Yeah, believe it into existence, lads. That's why you can't miss Adam and Ryan Shelley on Cage Conflict 5, live on Saturday, December 4th in the Devonish in Belfast. Lads, like, obviously, like, we've been talking to you for ages in the DMs. This is the perfect time to have you on. Like, what is the sort of build up now until next Saturday? Like, how do you just keep, like, it's obviously nothing is going to be easy. Like, you might have problems coming in next week, touch wood, nothing bad happens. But, like, how do you really push each other beyond that? Because, like, you've been here before, but, like, what really takes you to really push each other? What gives each other the extra bit of drive that Ryan, Adam needs, and Adam knows Ryan needs? Ryan,
Yeah,
you go ahead first.
I think one thing that we do there, and it's worked for us well in the past, we always say, like, although, like, we motivate each other all the time, but it's like, you look after yourself and I'll look after myself. Like, and so it's like, once we make sure our own jobs are done, as in making sure, like, the weight is good, the training is good, no niggles, things like that, and we look after ourselves, and then it's like coming into fight week, then we're just nice and relaxed. And then come fight time, it's just like, we have the chats, obviously, but it's like, we just sort of, stay away from each other a bit as well. And, we both, at the end of the day, I know, like, even though we're related, we've both got our own jobs to do and our own careers to focus on. So we just sort of keep it individual there, and the wins just look after themselves then.
Absolutely. Also, Roy, it's funny that you're actually replacing Adam's last opponent as well.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah,
that
was a funny one. Kenny was meant to fight that guy, and then obviously he's not now anymore, so I'll happily give him a trimming if Kenny can't.
No, I love it, lads. Like, I'm really looking forward to following both your careers. I think it's such a unique story for the two years, but also, like, you also, as Barry alluded to earlier, have that Taekwondo background, and, like, it's so fan friendly as well. And, like, people who can have throw those array of kicks that you guys can throw always makes for, like, highlight reel finishes. So we love to see that. But again, like, we always like to push out that, like, you guys are not just Taekwondo guys. You guys are also, elite martial artists in this country. And I'm really looking forward to seeing where you guys go. And I actually think, from a promotional background, Barry will probably back me on this, and from marketing background, the fact that you guys are brothers actually makes you more marketable as well.
Yeah.
Definitely, 100%.
Mhm.
Just like I said, now we push on, get a good few wins under our belts now, and like I said, me and Ryan don't actually, like, we don't really think of it from that side of things. Obviously, I have a lot of work to do now to get a few wins back. Ryan is doing very well, but, like, down the line, we'll definitely look to sort of capitalize on what you're saying there, Ross. At the moment, it's just about notching up them W's and building up the records.
Yeah, well, me and Barry always say the best marketing strategy is winning.
Definitely.
Yeah,
spot on. Yeah, absolutely.
That's it.
Lads, as I said, don't miss Adam and Ryan Shelley on Cage Conflict 5, live on Saturday, December 4th in the Devonish, Belfast. Lads, is there anyone you want to give a shout out to? Obviously, you want to give it, like, obviously Team KF, like, but I mean, is there anyone else that you want to give a shout out to before we wrap things up?
You go first.
It's going to be the same anyway. Just the sponsors, Top 10 and Complex Sportswear looked after us earlier on the year as well. Obviously, Team KF, all the coaches, Chris, Tom, Phil White, the striking coach up there, and all the boys for all the spars. Missing anybody there, Ryan?
No, just we have a nice gang of people heading up next week as well. So hopefully we're going to put on a nice show for them and have a big session in Argaff afterwards. Is
it only just the two of you from Team KF fighting on the card?
Yeah.
As far as I know, yeah.
As of right now, yeah.
The Shelley Army out in force.
Absolutely.
There ain't no party like a Shelley party.
Very true, very true.
You know, Ross.
Right, well, lads, like obviously we'll be supporting you all the way. It's going down next Saturday, and we can't wait to see you compete. Ross, anything else to say before we wrap things up?
No, just the two boys are going to bring home 2 W's next weekend. Can't wait to see it. It's going to be an epic show for anyone who's there in person. You won't regret it. For those of you who have watched the show, make sure to like, make sure to subscribe, hit the bell notifications. You won't miss an Energized show, because you know how we do. And guys, as always, stay energized.
Energized show, up the Irish. Been sussing you guys a couple of times. I've seen a couple of clips. I think you've done some interviews with Dylan Moran and that I saw. So keep going, keep up the good work, guys.